Hello, my name's Alex Brown. I'm a Professor of Indigenous Genomics at the Australian National University and Telethon Kids Institute. I'm originally from the south coast of New South Wales. I'm proud Yuin man. I was fortunate enough to be involved in establishing the South Australian Health and Medical Research Institute, or SAMRI. For the last 12 years, we've been working on issues that are most important to Aboriginal communities here in South Australia, trying to understand health inequalities and what drives them, and more importantly, what we're going to do about it. We know that Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people are much more likely to suffer from and die from conditions like heart disease and diabetes and cancer. When we began our work here in South Australia, we undertook a detailed set of conversations with communities all around the state to try to understand what they wanted us to focus our work on. For many people, diabetes is a common condition. It occurs in up to a half of Aboriginal people in communities over the age of 50. But it's particularly problematic in that it drives severe complications like eye disease, kidney disease, heart attacks and stroke. So between 2014 and 2016, myself and Kim Morey and Christine Franks visited a whole number of Aboriginal communities right across South Australia to talk about diabetes and to talk about what we could do together to try to understand what drives it and, more importantly, what we could do to prevent it. And that we wondered whether or not there was a study that we could do together to try to better understand how diabetes occurs in the first place and how we may prevent it. We then had a raft of conversations about a study that would assess a whole bunch of people from across the state at baseline and then follow them up over time to see who developed trouble, who developed diabetes, and what clues we could identify in their blood or in the story that they told us that would give us clues to who would develop trouble in the future. And this was the study design for the Aboriginal Diabetes Study. Working with up to 16 communities all around South Australia, we were able to develop the study, which involves a very comprehensive health assessment for every single individual, as well as asking a raft of questions about things like diet and behaviours, about stress and worry, the things that communities told us were important to them. And we take routine bloods that are usually done in the clinic, and we took some special tests from blood to look at genetic markers, which are utilised in our laboratories to understand the genetic story or genetic architecture of each individual participant. From that, we can look at whether or not there are stories within people's genes that are associated with or linked with or increase the chances that somebody might have diabetes. The importance of us seeing everyone who was involved in the first phase of the study is so that we can work out who's developed diabetes, who was at the start not suffering from the condition, and in those who had diabetes when we first saw them, who's gone on to develop complications or troubles. The more people from that first baseline study that we can re-engage with, we can revisit and we can talk to again, the more complete we'll be able to utilise this study in a way to answer the questions that communities had in the first place. How do we prevent diabetes from occurring, and how do we stop it from developing severe complications in our communities? It's really important that we can find as many of the people who are involved in the first wave of the study as we can. We can't answer the questions that the study was built to answer without your help again. We're very grateful for your contribution to our work, your kindness, your generosity of spirit, and your willingness to be involved in this work over a long period of time. But we still need your help to answer the questions that matter most to communities. Without you, we can't get this done. Only together can we beat diabetes.